Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the It's and Queens podcast, covering events in the world's most diverse borough.
That's us.
Yes, it's basically September 12th and September 13th to September 19th. I can explain that a little bit later, but
yeah, sure.
Our start date is flexible this week.
Yeah, we'll probably come out tomorrow a little to some extent, which is September 10th.
Yeah, but there's actually an event that starts early and runs late. So
okay.
But anyway, it's the
Hopefully
first.
Hopefully we'll be out by the time Willie Nelson plays Forest Hills, which is September 11th.
Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing with the Outlaw Festival.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Willie Nelson's coming to Queens, and I didn't even know about it.
There we go.
Wow.
Look at that.
Shows you how much
look
you
at
can
me. I
respect
brought
me.
something to the podcast this week. Holy cow.
Tomorrow it's gonna snow tomorrow.
That's right.
For 40 days and 40 nights. Anyway, we've just started our post US Open.
Right, we have a little hangover from the US Open. What's that drink they make over there?
The Honey Deuce.
The Honey Deuce, where
$18. It's Grey Goose vodka
right?
with some honey melons.
Nice.
People love it, but it's $18.
We had an international U.S. Open, right? We had a winner from Canada in the female, right?
And
Rafael Nadal from Spain
against Russia.
Yeah.
It was a great event. As people know, we have a kiosk there, and the weather was fantastic.
Who worked it on the last day?
Me, I was
there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Were you there for the entire 5-hour match?
No, I left halfway through. Yeah. But I was there for Serena Williams, and you wouldn't get over how many people were crying and upset.
Oh, I hear.
Serena Williams has a fan club. They just love her.
Beloved.
They love her.
She's like the Beyonce of tennis.
I guess.
I only say that just because she's so well thought of.
She is loved. Anyway, people were just, I can't believe this. Some people were coming out during the match because they couldn't watch.
Couldn't watch her lose.
Yeah, they're like, I just can't watch this. I just can't watch this.
You know what I did? In 1986, I turned off the Met game because I couldn't watch them lose.
And then they won the World Series?
I missed the Bill Buckner play. Yeah.
You see? And you know, in the case of Serena Williams, she was down 5-1. She came back to 5-5.
Right.
You might have missed the comeback.
Yeah. Don't call it a comeback.
Anyway, let's talk about what's coming up this
let's get into it.
We have some pretty cool stuff.
Right.
One of them is the annual antique motorcycle show at Queens Farm.
Yeah.
That's on September 15th. And Queens Farm, as we've discussed before, is a true farm with
working farm.
With kale and a vineyard, and you can take hay rides and llamas and other things.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this annual show, and it's antique motorcycles. I've been before, and you wouldn't believe some of these antiques. They're basically bicycles with a little motor on them that makes them go.
Leather wheels.
You can see it's like the evolution of the motorcycle. You can see that someone just took a bicycle and said, "Well, how can we play with this?" You know, and they go back to the early 1900s, and they're actually judged. So everyone comes around. There's a panel of judges that choose, the winners in certain categories.
Yeah, nice.
And of course, there are other things, food vendors. It's a great day on the farm. And I should probably add that some motorcycles are for sale.
Oh, no kidding.
So it's really kind of an fiction. If you happen to love motorcycles, this would be the place to go. If you happen to love antiques or antique motorcycles, this would be a fantastic place to be. Yeah. Do you like motorcycles, by the way?
I like them to look at. I don't think I trust myself on one.
Yeah.
You're
not going to believe it, but my mother was a motorcycle rider.
No kidding.
Yeah, she did it until she was about 70.
So the insult your mother wears motorcycle boots is actually true.
And leather too, because leather.
Well,
if you get in an accident and you slide, leather is the best protector. That's why you wear leather.
That's why you wear leather. Yeah.
She called herself. I think she called herself the geriatric biker chick.
Oh, okay.
So whatever.
That's pretty cool. To ride into your 70s, though. That's a pretty cool thing.
That's pretty good to have a good enough back and all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have another event. So this is the Antique Motorcycle Show is the 39th annual. We have something else that's now in its 8th year. And that is the Momo Crawl.
Oh, this is right up my alley.
Tell us what a Momo is.
It's like basically it's a dumpling.
Yeah, I would call it. It's a Tibetan or a Nepalese. It's a Himalayan dumpling.
That's right. Yeah.
They come with chicken. They come with beef. They come with potatoes.
Everyone's got their own version.
Everyone's got their own. Yeah. Anyway,
but these are particularly delicious.
For the past 8 years, we've had a Momo Crawl in Jackson Heights, started by a young food guy named Jeff Orlick. And this year there are 24 different restaurants that are participating.
Right.
And they are Tibetan, Nepalese, and Indian. So you pay a certain amount and you can just eat momos. You eat momos and eat momos and eat momos. And the sauces, of course, are great. There's the green sauce, there's the red sauce,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. And it all happens around Diversity Plaza, which is Jackson Heights. What would you call that? 73rd Street and 74th
74th
Street
and 37th.
and 37th.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a plaza there, and there's also going to be a whole bunch of dance and music entertainment as well. Again, it's Nepalese, Tibetan, so there'll be a lot of people, a lot of chanting, a lot of. Have you seen the Tibetans when they do their circles in public parks? They do them in Sunnyside and Woodside
No
on
kidding.
Sundays.
Oh,
It's
no.
walking around chanting and like banging on a drum and stuff.
Very cool.
So that's kind of fun. And 24 momos. Do you think you could eat 24 momos?
I mean, I know I can, which is
the problem.
unfortunate.
That's the problem.
Which is unfortunate.
I think when I was 24, I could eat 24 momos.
Oh.
And then each year, I've gone up a year and my ability to eat has gone down. So
I
when I was 25, I could eat 23.
It's funny because I feel like I eat less, but I still keep getting bigger. So I don't know how that worked out.
It's gravity.
Gravity. Yeah, gravity.
Let me say there's one other event that is actually in its 10th year, since we're on the
Anniversary,
We're on the long playing stuff. The Making Moves Dance Festival. Jamaica Center for Arts and Learning.
Yep, JCal.
10th annual, I believe. Yes, 10th annual, and it's a 3-day event.
Okay.
3 days of dance. 11 different choreographers. All of them are local.
Oh, no kidding.
So
All
you
Queens
can go.
based.
Well, I think some of them go outside of New York. I think there's some Brooklyn. And
Okay,
stuff,
that's
but
fair.
I think most
New
of
York
them are
City,
Queens, and
yeah,
all
New York
of them are
City-ish.
New York City. Anyway, that's 3 days, September 19th, 20th, and 21st. Obviously, the 20th and the 21st are the weekend days.
Ah,
All right, now let's get back to some other stuff. For example, the grape harvest.
I didn't know we had a grape harvest coming.
Yeah.
Is that every year?
Did we not talk about this last week?
I don't think we did.
Well,
Maybe we did.
because
No, we were out
it
last
was
week.
postponed. Oh yeah, we were out last week. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So the Volker Orth Museum in Flushing, it was built in the 1890s,
Right.
And
They farm as if
they
it's-
farm as if it was in the 1890s. No
Right.
pesticides. They use the same kind of clothing.
Right.
They have a vineyard. They have a whole garden. They have a Victorian garden,
I knew about the garden. I
and
didn't
they
know
have
it was-
bees for honey.
That's right.
But they have an annual grape harvest.
Good for them.
It was going to be September 7th, but now it's September 14th because apparently the grapes weren't ready last week. They weren't fragrant the way they're supposed to
It's
be.
like you right before the podcast. We have to
Exactly.
really get you
Get
fragrant,
me fragrant and
make
and
sure
ripe
you're ripe
on the vine.
That's right.
But anyway, they asked for volunteers, and you're not going to be stomping on the grape to
not like
make
Lucy
wine.
from
No,
I Love Lucy. Classic
because
episode.
this is grape juice. So you'll be taking them off. They do the cooking and the straining and all that stuff because they make juice out of it, and they make a special punch in honor of the woman who set up the Victorian garden.
Oh, very nice.
They break out the punch at special events. So if you want to do some volunteer stuff and get involved in a grape harvest, it's kind of fun. They allow you to eat some samples.
Now you're talking.
You can stick. And
My ears perked up after you said eat.
I called the woman. I called the museum, and they told me that it's a Katawa grape,
Okay.
which they believe that they began somewhere in the Carolinas, and they grow naturally all throughout the East Coast.
Okay. So it's.
And they're good for wine, juice, and jam and jelly.
Oh, I like a little jam.
Okay. Let's go on to two more things
Yep.
at the Museum of the Moving Image. One is 6 screenings of a movie called Midsommar.
Sounds like midsummer.
I think sommar is the Swedish word for summer.
See how? Look, I'm a linguistic expert.
It's about a couple that are on the rocks and
Love on the
they're about to
rocks.
break up, and then the woman decides, why don't I go with you and your boys on your bro trip to a midsummer pagan festival in rural Sweden together.
Okay.
And what could go wrong with that?
I think hilarity would ensue or chaos would ensue.
Right. So what can go wrong with that? A woman with her husband and 5 bros at a place with beautiful Swedish women.
No,
Nothing can go
nothing.
wrong. That are
Nothing can go
worshiping,
Yep.
nature. So that's showing 6 times, and then there are 12 screenings of a new documentary called America, which is about a woman named America, 93 years old, and her family members who take care of her and what happens. And I hope it's all about taking care of someone who's old, and also it's about family dynamics and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And, so that's pretty good, right?
That's both at Momi.
Those are both at Momi.
Okay.
Let me quickly run through some other things. World Fairs tour on September 14th.
No, right in time.
It goes to all of the remnants. They don't like to be called remnants. They like to be called historic sites.
Artifacts.
All the remnants of the World's Fair, which would be Queens Theater, Queens Museum, New York State Pavilion, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
They will be there. We have a series coming back to the Queens Botanical Gardens on Saturday morning at 9:30. The New York Audubon Society.
Oh, fancy words for bird watchers.
Yes. They are going to be the experts are going to be there, and people can go on walk with the New York Audubon experts.
You know what I did this weekend?
Check out the birds.
I did Forest Park walk.
Oh, did you?
I did there's like 3 trails you could do there.
Yeah.
I did the longest one.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
Forest
really,
Park's a beautiful park.
it's beautiful and kept up
It's
well.
a real forest.
Yeah, it really
it's
is.
What do they call that? Natural growth for a
Yes.
first growth forest.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It was very nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I would highly encourage it. Get out there.
Did you take your son?
I did.
Did he make it?
He did. Well, not without complaining, but he did. But it's very easy, very even terrain. A couple of inclines, and that's about it. But
Yeah, no, I don't know if I've been on that exact trail, but
yeah, there's like an orange trail.
you
and a
go
yellow
around,
trail,
yeah,
and a blue
yeah,
trail, so.
yeah, and sometimes horses ride by.
Yes,
you?
there was. We saw some remnants of horses, if you know what I
Oh
mean.
yes, I saw some remnants, not historical sites.
Not
but
historical.
remnants. The other thing I want to talk about was Irish Heritage Night.
Oh, look at me.
Yeah, look at
it's
you.
my people.
Those are your people. Irish Heritage Night at Long Island LIC Landing.
Oh, right down
on
by the
September
water.
14th, down by the
Right.
water. Irish music and dance. You know the McManus Irish Dance Academy
Yes,
or whatever?
yes.
They'll be there. So
Okay.
dancing jigs and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And they promised some special bagpipe music.
Oh, nothing like some bagpipe music.
I always thought bagpipes were Scottish, to be honest with you, not Irish. But I guess they're both, right?
Rob,
they cross the straits
you're,
between
you're,
the two.
You're starting some trouble here. You don't want to get into.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Irish and Scottish and Irish went back and forth for
Yeah,
generations.
absolutely, yeah.
Wherever they were
A lot
jobs.
of max and mix.
There are a lot of Catholics on the western part of Scotland.
Right.
Because the Irish went there to Anyway, so it's kind of a good week. There's some old time honored events. There's some new events. There's some bringing in fancy Audubon people from Manhattan. But we
do have a special event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we have a special event coming up this weekend, and as any of our astute watchers might know, we're not at our normal space.
Right. You notice we're at
where are we?
Koeppel Subaru.
Capel Subaru on Northern Boulevard and 42nd, between 42nd and 43rd.
Yeah.
We're going to meet some people from Capel and find out what's going on with them in a second. So please
Stay right
blink, and we'll be right back. All right, well, welcome back. We're still in the second part of the It's and Queens podcast. As you can see, the viewers have gotten an upgrade.
Yeah, much better looking.
I have both Evan and Nelson from Koeppel Subaru. Koeppel Subaru is the #1 Subaru dealer in the region or the district.
Yes.
And by far the #1 seller in New York City. The district expands out further. But we're actually not going to talk about cars immediately. Let me just add that last month they sold almost 200 cars. That's used and new, right?
Correct.
Which is all out of one spot here on Northern Boulevard. And what I would call Sunnyside, what would you call this neighborhood?
Long Island City.
You call it Long Island City?
Yeah,
Okay.
the postal zip code is Long Island.
The postal zip code is
yeah.
Long Island City?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so before we talk about cars, there's something called Capel Cares, which is K and K. I remember meeting them last year at Queen's Taste when they had
That's right.
car, a beautiful new purple car.
That's right.
Outside of the New York Hall of Science for the event. Tell me what you guys have coming up through Capel Cares. Whichever one wants to speak first.
This is this weekend, right? Saturday?
Okay, so Saturday, September 14th, 12 to 4, we're going to be having puppies. Lots and lots and lots of puppies.
You're going to have them yourself?
Yeah, they're going to be coming out
I'd love to see
everywhere.
that.
Trunks, spaces. We're just going to spread the floor and run around. Everybody can come in.
All right here?
Lots of smiles. Lots of smiles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we got cats, dogs, and rabbits. They're gonna be ready to join anybody that wants to adopt one and take it with their family.
Now, do you have to buy a car and then take the dog with
No,
you?
you don't. No, you don't.
But if you want to fill out a credit app,
It's a nice way to get
Absolutely.
people into the dealership.
So they're all going to be here, right here.
It's gonna be a mobile adoption event, so they're gonna be staging outside, and I'm sure they'll come in with the puppies. That way, everyone that wants to pet him and stuff.
Nice.
I would say that I should bring my daughter, but if I bring my daughter, she's going to want to come home with
Yeah,
like
you're coming
5
home
of
with
them.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
She loves dogs, and we don't have one.
Well, we'll help you out with the objections why you shouldn't take it home if it's not something that will work for the family.
So who are you organizing this event with? Is this a partnership?
Yes.
Yeah, it's with Animal Care and Control of New York City.
Okay. And how many animals, furry friends, are you expecting to have?
A lot.
A lot.
We don't know the exact
Several
amount.
Yeah, I don't know the
Okay.
exact amount. Obviously the more the merrier. But yeah.
Cats, dogs, and rabbits.
Cats, dogs, and rabbits. Nice.
Dogs and rabbits.
Well, if you sold almost 200 cars, there should be 200 pets, one for each car. Right?
Yeah, right. So I've for years and years I've always noticed that Koeppel gives turkeys away before Thanksgiving in Queensbridge. What are some of the other things that Capel Cares does in the community?
There's a lot. Koeppel's always been very active in the community. I know some of the things we've done. We've done a breast cancer walk. I know Mrs. Lasher participates in QSEC Quality Services for the autistic community. I think she's donated some cars there.
Cars.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big
I
one.
know
That's in
we've,
Howard Beach, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tony
I know.
took me
We've donated supplies to schools. We've had coat drives, food drives. Sure, there's a ton of stuff that I'm missing too.
Toys for Tots, I think they did too.
Oh yeah, Toys for Tots.
And
Yeah.
I think I remember supplying an Easter bunny during Easter. For those who believe in the Easter bunny and those who don't.
That's right.
All right, fantastic. You want to tell us a little bit more about the business operation that you got here? While we're here, why not talk about Capel's business side?
Oh, well, we do have 2 brand new models coming out next week, the 2020 Outback and the 2020 Legacy. There's going to be all kinds of new features, so if that's something you might be interested, come in and check it out.
Super excited, coming for a free test drive. Also check out the 2019 Forester, the Crosstrek, and the Ascent. The Ascent is now 2020, but those are great vehicles. The best all-wheel drive, symmetrical all-wheel drive vehicle for the off-road condition.
You happen to be talking to 2 Subaru owners right here. We both have Silver Foresters.
I traded it. You can still trade in, right? Across the
Absolutely,
street?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Bring it.
yeah, definitely. You want us to run some numbers right now?
I
filled out a credit app. It came back as,
very happy with the car we traded in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's a lease, but as soon as I'm going to
You
re-up.
lease?
Well, I did because it was the first time I ever needed
Had
to.
it?
Yeah, I needed to
Oh.
buy a car.
Oh.
We had company cars previously, so I needed to buy a car, and leasing was the easiest way to get into one immediately.
Oh, okay.
You'll be happy to know Subaru is number 1 in the Consumer Reports 2019.
Yeah.
Really?
We are number
For
1.
years they've been. For years.
We were really close to number 1, but now we made it to the top of the list, so we're very
Congratulations.
excited. Great,
That's in
exciting
customer
product.
satisfaction and all that
Everything
kind of
that's
stuff.
And I'll tell you,
reliability, safety.
I'll tell you, I make no decisions in my house, right? My wife does all the research, and she's a thorough researcher. So the reason why we have a Subaru is because it was the safest, it was the most fuel efficient, and it was the best resale value. So there was from tireless research from Teresa
I believe
Hernandez.
strongly in Subarus. And I think anyone who has a family should have
That's
a
right.
Subaru. I have 2 daughters because it's the safest, always, year in, year out. It's
That's
the
right,
safest.
and I have a little guy too.
Yeah, and you have a
Our
little
service
guy, too.
department is number 3rd in the nation.
No kidding.
Rated like one of the best. I mean, we take care of our clients after the sale also. So that's
Fantastic.
another reason why to.
That's true. The
come
guy,
all the
the
way to
guy I got
Koeppel
the Subaru
Subaru.
from calls me all the time. We talk. He just checks in, make sure the car's okay. Emails,
Very
text,
nice.
all the time.
Very
So,
nice.
you do a good job.
So you guys are both sales associates?
Yes, sir.
So that means you sell?
Yes, sir.
What happens if you don't sell?
You're not
I
here.
want to know.
That doesn't happen. That
They
doesn't
won't be
happen.
here for the next It's in Queens podcast.
How many do you have to sell a month, or is there not quotas?
We do have quotas, personal quotas, but
Yeah.
and you try to sell as many as possible.
And
Large-
how do you get your word out, or do people come here to see you?
Well, Subarus. I had to wait a month to get my Subaru. It wasn't.
Really?
That's how many were being
Typically,
sold.
the biggest challenge is not you falling in love with the Subaru, but us finding the exact Subaru for you.
That's right.
Oh, I see.
Inventory with Subaru is
Wow.
always very. There's a high demand.
They're in high
so
demand.
There's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a challenge.
This is the one sales job you do want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely,
This,
definitely. It's they sell
the car that
themselves.
sells itself.
Yeah, that's right.
We have great diversity also here at Koeppel Subaru.
Oh, do you speak
we speak
different
many
languages?
Yeah, Spanish.
Well, you're born in
Obviously.
Cuba.
Yes, I'm from Havana City originally. 18 years lived there.
Nice.
I speak Spanish. We have Mandarin, Cantonese, Polish, a little bit of Russian, I believe, also. So we have great diversity here. Obviously,
Okay.
Queensboro,
Queens,
And,
we need it.
What cars do you guys drive in your personal life?
Subaru Legacy,
Subaru
black.
Legacy. And you?
I have a Forester.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Anything else we should tell our consumers?
Come and then you ask the questions.
so co-
We'll answer every single one of your questions. We're very transparent here at Koeppel Subaru. So,
Okay.
Like I said, Koeppel Cares.
Remember, the adoption event is September 14th.
This
That
Saturday.
is this Saturday, noon to 4, right here. Go and see as many dogs, cats, and bunnies as you can ogle at.
I hear the Forester can take 20 puppies. in it.
The Forester can
That's how
take
big the
20
trunk-
puppies safely.
That's how big the cabin is.
And we do use a pet-resistant cloth on all our microfibers.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. All right,
right.
everyone. Thank you
For more information, check out it'sinqueens.com, right?
For more information,
What's your
check
guys'
out
website?
it'sinqueens.com.
KoeppelSubaru.com, 4201 Northern Boulevard. That's where we're located, Long Island City.
And you have all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, right?
Do absolutely subscribe and
And
follow
if you come
Right.
here and adopt a pet, tag it It's in Queens so we can find you on our social media.
Yeah, it's a good idea. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for putting up with us for yet another week. And thanks, of course, to our hosts and guests at the same time.
That's right.